I used to only do client work just a few years ago. Now I do half and half. And teaching actually helps me improve my work. I understand my work better. I can articulate my work better. So I recommend you even start a free class for your network. Just say, every Thursday at 6 p.m., I host a Zoom call where I'm going to teach you one little itty bitty digital marketing skill or whatever it is for you. And you're going to actually learn that skill faster because you're going to have to research, you're going to have to prepare, you're going to have to execute, and you're going to have to show up. So teaching is a huge hack in this game. Teach people this stuff and you'll get a lot better at it. And that's also when I thought about, how do you productize a service? How do you make it so that your service comes in a box? How do you make it so that people unbox your service and they do all the work? And that's when I realized online courses are just consulting when you're not there. You're just teaching people something that you would teach them in person one-on-one, and you just design it so that people can unbox it themselves. That's a hack for time. That's a hack for income. And again, making you more conscious around the process that you give to others. It forces you to really refine your process, okay? The pitfalls are all around clients and choosing the wrong ones. You want to choose ones that pay well, of course, but you really have to choose ones that aren't clueless. You have to choose ones that get it, and that's hard sometimes because a lot of the new clients that we're more likely to take, they don't know a lot. So the pitfalls I found myself was not setting boundaries properly, not telling them that they can't say these kind of things. And I didn't know a lot about revisions before. Let me just tell you, it's very common that whatever creative work you do, copy or visual, 2 rounds of revisions and that's it. Make your changes in 2 rounds and no more. And that's reasonable and acceptable. 1 often isn't enough. 3 is a lot and you should start being paid extra. So, whenever you have a contract, you just say the standard revisions on the work is 2 rounds. Okay. I didn't even know that for years. And so then I didn't add it in the contract. So then you can't bring it up later. They're like, oh, can you keep changing it? It's like, no, I can't. But at the beginning, that shit doesn't matter. At the beginning, doing the work is giving to you. You're blessed that you can touch real business work. In school, it's not real. Grades are not real. Grades have no correlation to the amount of money you're going to make. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that there's too many outliers to say that A+ equals high income. Okay, that's not how it works, okay? So client pitfalls are the big problem. It's getting in the wrong client. It's wasting time with clients. It's being screwed by clients. So just be choosy as soon as you can. In the beginning, I needed money really badly too. I did not say no. And I think that builds character. I think you should all take some shit for a while. Whenever I get new teammates, I give them a hard time in the beginning because I think you need that. If this business, you gotta be a pro. You gotta be legit. You can't be scared off by one little thing. You can't be turned off by people not liking your work. I mean, it's business process. And what you ultimately learn at the end of the game is CEOs and decision makers, they're not gonna get mad. They're not gonna be upset if it doesn't look right, but they do wanna improve. They do wanna make progress. And if they're spending money with you, they hope to get what they asked for, I think my regrets are just waiting too long to raise the price because I thought that they're supposed to say yes. I thought it would not be good if they walk away. And that's because I was under that belief that it's so hard to get clients. And I think it isn't easy. And so, yes, at the beginning, you can't really put the highest price. I think you got to negotiate a lot, but you have to always have it in the back of your mind, where you're headed to. And I think Chris Do said it on Clubhouse this week, but he basically said, if people say yes to your price 3 times in a row, it's too low. So that's a good rule of thumb. And then my final regret, it's just not making more content and documenting more. It's hard, but you got to do more. It's so valuable. Even if you don't put it out, I recently found some footage from 2013 that I'm going to be putting out soon. It's a little glimpse into the early part of my career and when I used to live in a 300 square foot apartment in Hong Kong. I got some great footage and at the time, it was probably pretty embarrassing to record that video of such a small little apartment. Even though in my voice in the video, it's quite humbled and excited, but looking back, that content is worth, it might even be priceless priceless. Do you understand why? We are the first generation that can document our entire life if we want. You're allowed to document your whole life on Twitch TV. They will store all the footage for you. And then if they can't, you can upload it to YouTube. You could turn yourself into a Truman Show. Now, I don't really recommend that, but hear me when I say that the footage I found from 9 years ago feels priceless to me today because it's the filling in of my backstory. Everything I have is only gonna make my personal brand story more interesting, more dynamic. It will prove where I came from. It will prove that I started from nothing. You can see my desk. It's hilarious. This is valuable, and I didn't know until I saw it last week, until I found it. So found footage is wonderful. I used to have a name for it, found footage. I can't remember, but don't be afraid to just document a bit now. And my video is just like me showing the room and explaining what it was. And don't be afraid to say, you know what, this isn't for me now. This is for the future me. I want to give the future me something. And I think one of the greatest gifts is to give them your content today and invest in building that today. And I think that sounds hard for some people, and I would hate for people to walk away feeling on a low because Rich said you got to make content. Listen, do you really want a life where you have nothing that you're kind of passionate and curious about? And I think what's cool about it is that you can be curious about your work. I'm curious about marketing. I'm curious about what makes people buy stuff with the click of a button. I'm curious about that. And that curiosity is very profitable. That curiosity keeps me motivated to do more, to learn more, to think more, to try again, to get better. So you gotta sort of maybe consider, how do I create content where I'm really comfortable with it? And let me figure that out. Before I go for my dream idea, before I go for my fantasy idea, before I go for that perfect idea that's like, you're probably gonna never do it, find a medium, a method, where you feel no friction. And maybe the hint is to record it, but not edit it for a really long time until you feel inspired to like mash up some of your clips like that. I like doing that. I think it's fun. Like I had a good day, you know, good 4 hours of downloading some royalty-free music, throwing it all into Premiere, looking at my old footage, recorded a basic voiceover. You know, it's 3 or 4 minutes for now, this video. Just a pleasant experience to relive. And then my wife came in and she was watching some of it, and I'm sure she got a kick out of it. And of course my son, you know, like I want to start thinking about what he's going to see from me and how he's going to go through that journey. I don't know. And it's back to that point of that we are the first generation who will be documenting themselves at the detail we are. Gary Vee is probably the oldest person to really do that at that level. Of course, a few others have kind of copied him, like maybe a Grant Cardone or something. I don't know who's the oldest there, but he was the oldest leader. It's really more so for the 30-year-olds and the 20-year-olds to really be the first ones to really be inspired by this opportunity. And it's funny how it really comes back to that first step, right? Picking a platform, picking your tool of choice, beginning the path of receiving data from the world about what you put out. And be careful you're not in a echo chamber, because every type of content is out there. I encourage you to model content from a different niche, in a niche that you want to be in, and take ideas. Like nothing is that original, and that's not the point of content marketing. That's pure artistry. Content marketing is about gathering awareness and attention in a business context. That's what you want to do. And that doesn't need your face. That doesn't need fancy art, okay? It matters more what is the offer, and are the people in that platform that you're trying to capture them that would be interested in that offer. Okay, so I think I'm summing up pretty much what I want to say on this topic of mastering the skill in a very systematic way, and understanding that you go from this sort of social, wide awareness, typical, you know, environment into a more paid, focused, analytical, scientific environment, into diagnosing the complete realm of business and marketing. If you enjoyed that clip, you'll love the full live stream. I've linked it here for you. And if you're looking for something for beginners, check this video out. It's an A to Z. See you guys next time.